Hello and welcome on our flight with TNT 737 from Liege in Belgium to Athens as the first leg of our flight TAY065. We are flying with the IXEG Boeing 737-300, which does as if it is a freighter, because unfortunately we don't have freighter versions of 737-300s and 400s in X-plane. Yeah, it's part of this series, cargo runs. And finally I find some time to actually continue with it. So today we're going to fly to Athens. Athens, we have good new scenery, which is already some time ago. I'm going to show you. And the flight planning, this is what this initial part is about. We're going to do entirely with SimToolkitPro. So as I have shown in other videos before, I am now concentrating on SimToolkitPro as my main tool for everything. And I'm going to quickly run you through the setup that I'm going to use today. We're actually going to use the weather, not VATSIM weather, because we're not flying online. It's going to be real weather enabled. I have set up the simulator to read weather from the meta.rwx file, and yeah, I want to see how that pans out, having the whole flight with SimToolkitPro weather. The other thing is I'm going to use the streaming tool, so we're going to have the live map and showing us the flight plan and the progress of our flight on a map, which is a browser window, and we're going to have some of the SimToolkitPro overlays, but since I am using a Benny overlay for the flight data, I'm only putting in things like the current flight plan, show the call sign, show airframe, and especially for me interesting is the show flight phase. So I might even reduce the information on that bar. It will show up at the top. At the moment it's not visible, but later on when we're in our flight mode, you're going to see these on the header up. Okay, so the other thing is I've been working on setting up my fleet. So as you can see, I've set up the Boeing 737-300 for TNT Airways. Location at the moment is Liege. That's where we're going to fly from. And yeah, this is basically waiting for us now to use it. And I have also set up the flight already as here in my schedule. You can see I have a number of ideas. I'll probably never make all of these, but I can try anyway. So I have now Liege to Athens. The whole ETE that it calculates is 3 hours. Yeah, I guess in and around 3 hours we're going to have. I'm going to click dispatch now. What happens is it will bring me here. So we're flying from Echo. Oops, I shouldn't have clicked. From Echo Bravo Lima Golf to Lima Golf Alpha Victor. The aircraft we are going to use is Oscar Oscar Papa Charlie Romeo. The flight is, that's the internal code 3V for ASL TNT Yankee 065. And the call sign itself is TAY065. And the time 0535 Zulu, that's 7:35. Yep, it is quite early in the morning. I'm hoping I will be able to get through this without being interrupted. Then routing, we're going to leave the options. We're letting it generate it. I'm just checking some of this. So cruise is auto, fuel, Yeah, fuel factor P00, reserve fuel, automatic. Okay, let's see let's just calculate everything by SimBrief ultimately. So this is packs. Here I can actually, well, that's the thing now, because this is not a cargo plane, we're going to have a weird sort of load, being a mix of passengers and cargo. I don't really care. I could now set up some zero fuel weight, but because I'm not simulating an actual flight with an actual weight, I don't have that information. I let SimBrief just generate it for me. And when we look at the options, yeah, it's Lido format, kilograms, sits and stars, definitely. And now what I can do is I can say, generate plan. Then a window will open. You can't see that. This is the SimBrief window. You need to provide your SimBrief credentials, which I'm currently doing because it keeps forgetting. Oh, hang on. Maybe I should. Let's do that again. I seem to have done it wrong. I can't log on now. Yeah, that had to be. Hang on. Ah, now. So many passwords. I guess you have the same problem. So many passwords, and you try and really keep them different, but not so different that you forget them all. But still. So what you see is our flight route leads us pretty straight down from Liege in Belgium, a bit through Germany, a little bit through Austria. We are just not quite entering the Italian border, through Slovenia, Croatia, Bosnia-Herzegovina, then yeah, down. We were kind of flying a little bit over Albania, then Bulgaria. Is it No, that's not Bulgaria. That's hang on, what is that? Ah, yeah, that's North Macedonia, and then down into Greece, all the way down to Athens. Yeah. And hopefully in Athens we'll successfully land. Let's have a quick look at the flight plan as we can see it. So in Liege with the current weather, which we should actually call up. Let's have a look. Echo Bravo Lima Golf. I'm going to call for the meta. So wind is coming from the north with 4 knots. It's the weather report is from 0450, so 0650 is from about 20 minutes ago. CAF okay. So Belgium has nice weather, but we're going to see quite a bit of stuff over the Alps, rain and so on. Temperature is actually quite cold. It's 2 degrees. Yeah, we have the cold spell in May. Surprisingly, we got bad weather. 10:20 is our QNH, and there's no significant change. So for us leaving in Belgium, it actually looks quite good. So we're going to use runway 04, and then we're going to leave via Olno 8 Romeo to Olno, and then it goes down the en route part, and our arrival is Ropo 1 Papa. Sees the star. Apparently there is a sit. I'm not sure. So don't forget, SimToolkitPro is still kind of in work, right? So sometimes you have weird things being shown. So there's no approach yet. Yeah, that's because at this point in time, it is actually difficult to predict. They predict runway 03, but in 3 hours that might have changed. So I'm not going to set this because we're going to see what happens when ATC guides us. All right. Since I'm not flying online, I could, but I don't fly online for videos like this because I need to interrupt things, and you know. And I need to be able to be away from the PC. Therefore, online flying doesn't make sense for me. And anyway, this is happening at times where there is no coverage anyway. I can export this now into the FMS, export for FMS plan file, and what I can do is I can export it for the 737, but I need to now find where that needs it. So let's see, let's go here, X-Plane 11, how was that? Is that in, let me see, X-Aviations, and I think it is, where does it put flight plans? FMC data, liveries, checklist. I can't remember. Company routes, there it is, co-routes. There we go. Save. So that means we can call it up in the IXEG. The export was successful. I can also export it as a PDF document in the AviTab charts folder. That means we can always look at the chart. And let's see, and we're going to export it as the FMS file for X-Plane 11 so that other tools can facilitate it as well. Yeah, that's it for the moment, because any of the other formats at the moment don't make sense. It's fantastic. It's absolutely fantastic that we can do this here, right? So I've got that, and next is that I'm going to press fly now, and that kind of yeah, that completes the flight plan kind of pre-phase, and we are now officially for SimToolkitPro, we're now officially doing that flight. And what we can now quickly check is what we've got here. There's a summary of the information. So, for example, in Liege, which has an airport altitude of 651 feet, with the current weather, which we can also call for again. Yeah, we've just seen. The load is, the payload is 11.6 tons. The zero fuel weight will be 45.4 tons. So we need to try and set up the IXEG accordingly. Ramp weight 55. So that is including fuel. Fuel, it suggests a block fuel of 10.3. We're slightly bumping this up and round it off to 11. And it cruise profile, which is the cost index 44, and Eblg 350. So the cruise will be flight level 350. I think that is, or I think it is. That's a bit, looks a bit strange, but I think this is flight level 350. So why don't we just check this quickly? Ah, no, oh no, that is the, no, I don't know what that is, to be honest. Ah, flight level steps. So there's only one step. That's what this is. Yeah, it is. It is the altitude. It is a bit confusing, but that's what it is. It actually corresponds to this here. Our alternate, by the way, is Lima Golf Kilo Lima. I need to find that airport. Flight steps 350. If there would be step climbs, we would see more here. But the initial and only in this case is flight level 350. So we're going to climb to flight level 350. So trip fuel, here's again the calculation. It assumes that we are 2 hours and 56 minutes in the air. We're going to probably need around 6.8 tons. There's a contingency of 15 minutes. Then we have an alternate. We have fuel for the alternate. And then a final reserve of another 30 minutes. So that gives us a minimum fuel of 10.1 tons, which is 4 hours and 20 minutes. And there's no extra fuel because I didn't ask for it. So as I say, I'm going to slightly round up this number, but I think it's sufficient. I think the calculations for the IXEG are pretty accurate when it comes to SimBrief. I'm pretty sure that will work out. So yes, let's see the route. So that's the weight. No, where's the weight? Operational impacts. No, that's the impacts. here's the weights. So the weight wise, yeah, it calculates 109 passengers and very little cargo, but for us it actually means that we have a payload of 11.7 tons and a takeoff weight of 55.6, which is way under the maximum takeoff weight, and we're going to land with 48.8 roughly, and that's also nicely under the maximum landing weight that we have. So, and that's now the actual flight plan, and the short version of that is here. That's the route. You can see that we leave via Olno 8 Romeo on runway 04 right, and most likely we're going to come in via Ropox 1 Papa arrival for Athens 03 right. Okay, so that's the plan. The estimated times, yeah, I'm going to try and get this right. Now, the problem here is that I'm not flying with real times. I'm also not, I can't also fly real time like in the time that is here. I need to actually modify this a little bit because it is difficult to match this because, as I say, I might not be able to record this in one go. So there will be interruptions, and I need to pause the simulator for that. That's just the reality of my life here at the moment, especially in COVID times. Okay, so let's quickly set up Navigraph. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to add a new flight. I'm going to use the sim brief. Okay, then here's linked to sit show chart as an overlay. Okay, so we can nicely see what the departure in Liege will look like. So we're taking off towards the northeasterly directions, and then we kind of fly around here, and then we join Olno for our actual en route part. Yeah, and let's open the chart list. So let's first get the airport. Airport, is that the one? Yes, that's the one. Let's tag that. Then the parking stands, we are here, we are at the north apron. Actually, that's not true. We need to be actually on the, we need to be here, I think. No, we need to be somewhere here because this is actually the TNT. Yeah. Then, as I say, we have the departure was the that was the Olno 8 Romeo, which is this one here. Yeah, going to here then. So, and that's it for our departure airport. And what we can then also do is we can already at least prepare some of the charts for Athens. Here we're going to have a star, and it's going to be the Ropox. I think it's this one here. It's the Ropox arrival coming from here, yeah, and then flying down here, and then probably on that now we need to see the approaches. At the moment it's runway 03 right, and let me quickly go back to the flight because we can click here, no, here, yeah. No, actually, it was 03 right, so we can quickly check the ILS. Yeah, that means we probably need to then come around here somehow and do our initial approach, runway 03. I guess we'll find out when we're a bit closer. The other thing is I'm going to use 124th ATC for kind of ATC interactions, and it might actually consider it completely different. The Ropox 1 Papa, I think, Ropox 1 Papa I can demand. What I can't demand is, I think, the runway and the exact routing then for the ILS. Yeah, we're going to play it by ear, but I'm going to set it up in the FMC. And then I think that we also need the airport chart. And we need the parking stands. So let's put this in. I'm not sure where the cargo area is in Athens. So here's GA, this is apron north, this is apron south, this is satellite, and looks like cargo is down here. So we're probably going to be parked somewhere in this area, towards the southwest end of the airport. So since we're coming in via 03, it means that we will then probably have to taxi back for quite some time. Okay, that's fine. I think that finishes the preparation on the Navigraph side. If you have something like ChartFox, that's the free variant. You could actually try and find appropriate charts. You need to log on. I'm not going to do that now. Let's look at SkyVector because, or not SkyVector, I mean Windy. Let's have a quick look at the current weather, and what we can see is I'm going to activate the clouds. So what you can see is we are now in Belgium, which looks pretty nice. So this is cold but clear, but we're going to fly into pretty hefty weather. So yep, I'm thinking of taking maybe some more fuel. Well, I think I'm going to put in 11 tons, definitely. Round it up a bit. Gives me another couple of minutes because we're going to have bad weather, at least over the Alps and Austria, and even down here until about Montenegro. Montenegro, it's going to be less. Doesn't look too bad, though it's clouds, but here over the Alps we probably will encounter some nastier weather. We shall see. And Greece and Athens appear to be fine, so the landing in Athens should be pretty okay, the way it looks. That's the good thing about using live weather, because you can use something like Windy to really get situational awareness when it comes to your weather and your winds. We can also check if there is, so that's the rain stuff, and we can see, there's some thunderstorms. You see those little flash symbols. So we're going to fly from Brussels. So we're kind of, hopefully it will stay over the Alps. I live somewhere here, so we can see it's a really bad weather today. It's just can't be avoided, I guess. So, yep, I think we're done. And now let's go and get ready for the flight.
Log 79, Lima, clear to land runway 11, wind 140 degrees, 11 knots.
Clear to land runway 11, lot 79 Lima. Lot Lima Papa, witamy.
Lot 3 Lima Papa, tower, dzień dobry. Slot 3 Lima Papa, clear to land runway 11, wind 140 degrees, 10 knots.
Okay, dan 28 back, descent time of about 40 knots.
120. Oké, dan doe ik het best stemmen dat we wachten.
Margin 1867, climb level 250, direct Birmingham.
250 Birmingham, ik kan wel.
Slot 456, clear to land runway 11, wind 150 degrees, 9 knots.
Yes, let's runway 11, dot 456.